Russian doctors allow Navalny's transfer to Germany.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russian health officials will allow Navalny to be airlifted to Berlin. 1355 aides of Alexei Navalny have applied to the European Court of Human Rights to facilitate his medical transfer from Siberia to Germany. 1230 German doctors have gained access to Navalny in hospital, said an associate of the Russian opposition leader. At present my husband Alexei Anatolievich Navalny is in the City Clinical Emergency Hospital 1 of Omsk in a serious condition. I believe that Alexei Navalny needs qualified medical care in the Federal Republic of Germany, she wrote. 827 Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki has said on Twitter, "We need to be 100% sure that safety of Alexei Navalny is guaranteed." He said Poland supports the efforts to provide Navalny with the best available treatment and that he was concerned about the decision not to let him leave the country. If true, the suspected poisoning of Russian oppositionist Alexei Navalny represents a grave moment for Russia, and the Russian people deserve to see all those involved held to account, spokeswoman Rebecca Ross said, using a different spelling for Navalny. 810 Russian doctors found a lethal substance that poses a threat not only to Navalny but also those around him, the director of his organization has claimed.
This post received a score of 4,900, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Confident no traces of the toxic agent will be found, he's now cleared to be sent to Germany. Or he is the walking dead and they aren't concerned about him being able to be saved. I'd love to see layman summaries of all the top-secret exotic poisons and delivery mechanisms that everyone has. The umbrella gun that shoots a tiny pellet with ricin is so neat. Imagine if that is the lame tip of the iceberg.
It is not the first time they used it on him. Navalny was similarly poisoned and survived while in jail. It also mirrors the symptoms of Pussy Riots, who was poisoned in Moscow 2 years ago and taken to Germany for treatment. I suspect they are now using this poison over something more lethal like polonium because it breaks down in the body and disappears very quickly, leaving it impossible to trace. Edit. The good news is Verzalov recovered from his similar poisoning attempt while in Germany, so hopefully Navalny can do the same.
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did find traces of poison, but did not disclose it so that they could identify future attempts from the same source.
Russia has no problem assassinating people in Berlin. Or in UK.
Sightseeing the world-famous Salisbury Cathedral.
You mean those two gay fellows?
We'll just pack him a nice thermos of tea for the flight.
Too much hassle, they probably just shoot the plane down and blame Poland.
Oh Kerwa.
Crazy how this keeps happening and it's really obvious who's behind it but no one does anything.
Putin is literally the richest and most powerful man on earth. He owns a large share of every Russian billionaire's assets, has near unilateral control of Russia's assets, and has Donald Trump in his pocket.
Hope he'll get asylum in Germany or elsewhere, if he ever recovers.
There's no doubt he can get asylum anywhere he wants. The question is whether he can continue leading the opposition while being on exile in another country. Unfortunately, I always felt this day was coming. The moment Putin thought he might be an actual threat, he'd eliminate him.
He was never and will never be a threat to Putin. They don't like him that much in Russia as they do in the West. But he could have been a threat to someone in the Nay region to someone. There are large protests going on there and he came there to support these protests there.
It's possible a lower-tier actor did this, as it appears it was for Politkovskaya, for example, but Navalny ran a credible campaign for Moscow mayor and won enough for a runoff, even if a little bit of fraud prevented that. In this current environment of protests and changing political systems and growing unhappiness, that could be enough to scare a lot of already touchy people.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.